Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Todd Kuckkahn. Todd is a public speaker, executive and leadership development coach, and a DISC consultant. Welcome to the show, Todd.
Thanks so much for having me, Gigi. I'm excited to be with you.
You're welcome. Likewise, it's an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us about you and where you are from? And I do see you're trying to share it there.
I got a little W on my shirt. I got a little G over here on my shoulder. So I'm a Wisconsin boy through and through. Born here, raised here, lived here all my life. And in spite of the snow we're supposed to be getting tonight, I love it here.
Absolutely amazing. Now, tell us more about what inspired you to become a public speaker.
Well, basically, I've been just sharing. I've been doing it most of my life without realizing it. I've been in coaching, teaching, different professions like that. And but about 3.5 years ago, I got connected with the John Maxwell team and learned about the different opportunities through professional speaking and as well as coaching, teaching, and training. And it's something that it really grabbed my attention. I guess I'm a little bit of a ham. I'm an I on the DISC personality, so I'm a little more extroverted. Not that you have to be to speak, but and as I did more and more of it and got more and more engaged, I really enjoyed it. And I think what it boils down to is it gives me a chance to add value to others. I'm hoping I have something I can bring to people and add to people, and through my speaking, it's a way to add value to others.
Fantastic. Now tell us more about your experience as the executive director of the Portage County Business Council.
Sure, I've been in this job a little over 5 years. Essentially, what we do with the Business Council is we are the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development, Leadership, and Young Professional Organization. Our community is about 70,000, so we're not huge. Right in the middle of the state. If you threw a dart at the middle of Wisconsin, you'd probably land right on Stevens Point and Plover area. And basically work with the business community on helping them to grow their businesses. Typical chamber work. We do some events. We do a lot in the area of talent attraction now. A number of leadership programs they do with both young professionals and others throughout the community. So it really is a great job because you never know from hour to hour, day to day, week to week, what you're going to be working on. But it's all to better your community and hopefully keep and bring more people and businesses here.
Wonderful. Now tell us what leadership means to you.
That's a great question. You should have sent me that one ahead of time. Well, I think leadership really means being a role model. Being intentional in what you do, including others in your decision making. Sometimes I think leaders focus too much on their title, their position, and think that's what leadership is. And leadership is so much more than that. It's giving back to others. It's helping others. It's working with teams, collaborating, partnerships, all those different sorts of ways to really better either yourself, your organization, your community, others, whatever the case might be. So a lot of times we don't even realize we're in leadership positions. And I think all of us are leaders in different positions. We're all, whether we're a parent or an uncle or an aunt, wherever we are in our business, whether we're an entrepreneur, we own our own business and run that. Those are all different things that mean leadership. I know the dictionary definition is a little bit shorter than that, but I think those are some of the key elements. But really, I think it boils down to being a good role model, setting a good example for others, and being willing to take control, but also bring others along to help support as well.
Very powerful. Now tell us more about the major challenge that you had to overcome in your life.
Well, I guess I think of a number of them. One is I've been fired several times throughout my career. I've always landed back on my feet. I've been in this position, like I said, for 5.5 years. But those are tough times. And, anytime you lose your job for any extended period of time, it's difficult, not only from the financial standpoint. And those times when it happened, I had a family, but also the psychological side of, seeing yourself as somewhat of a failure and trying to work through that. And we all have different challenges in our lives. We've all faced different, and some much greater than any challenges I've ever faced. But I think, how you get through those psychologically, financially, get your feet back underneath you. And again, the leadership role has really helped me. While that hasn't happened to me recently, it certainly has helped me understand better that every position isn't right for people. And there are a lot of variables that impact that. And you just have to fight through those. So I would say those 4 different times where I've had to fight through it, And actually, interestingly enough, 3 of those 4 times I still keep now in contact with many of the people that work there. So while the position may have not worked out for me, I think the relationship side of it, you hear the expression, don't burn your bridges. And I guess I follow that, and I've learned that because people are still people and relationships are still important.
Very powerful. Now, what is your greatest accomplishment?
Greatest. Yeah, I'm not one that can really talk about myself, which you're probably saying, well, then why the heck are you on the show with me? But I guess there's a couple I can talk about. One that I'm proud of, when I was at a health institution, I helped solicit a major gift, a 6-figure gift, to buy a mobile mammography unit for the health center. So it was through a bank in our area. Spent some time. I knew some of the people there, and raised a significant gift from them to help fund that mobile mammography unit. Because again, we're in a rural setting, so that's difficult for people to come to clinics and get that sort of testing. So that was a great moment for me. Another exciting moment for me was being part of recruiting a basketball team. Imagine that, with all the stuff in my background, with the basketball behind me. But helped recruit a basketball team at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. That team went on to win a Division III national championship, first one in the history of the school, and it was quite an honor. And then even above that, I wasn't actually coaching the team when they won it, but I had recruited the key players. So when that team was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the head coach, his name is Bo Ryan. Many people may know him in the basketball world, but he was such a great person. He brought me in with that team into the Hall of Fame at University of Wisconsin-Platteville. So that was an especially proud moment, on top of working to get that team where they were. So, those are a couple things. Now, of course, if my wife and children are listening, I better talk about my family as a great accomplishment. But those are things more professionally speaking versus the family side in terms of what I've done in my life.
Wonderful. Now, what is your why that keeps you going?
I think it's the adding the value to others. And then a subset of that is probably a legacy. I want to show my family, particularly my children, that no matter where you are in your life, you can always pick yourself up. You can always step through failure. You can always fly through the comfort zone and get into learning and growth. So really that legacy component, I think, is really important for me. I remember the first time I heard John Maxwell speak. It was 3-4 years ago at a Live to Lead event, and he was talking about, this is crazy, how he hadn't accomplished anything in his life at 70 years old. And he'd only written, probably 80, 100 books at that time. And he's impacted people across the world. I'm thinking, I've done nothing if he hasn't done anything at age 70. So that impetus for me, I'm a little bit closer to 100 than I am to 0, in case you can't tell. But really to keep that momentum going and showing there are ways that you can add value to people. And through a lot of different, through roundtables, masterminds, different people I've come to met, and they circled back and talked to me about how what I've done or what we've done has impacted their lives. That's so rewarding. Those real simple little things. I don't need to be put up on a statue made or anything like that. But those one-on-one individual moments where something you said or something you've done has added value to somebody, really impacted them and helped them get through something. Just like when I lost my job those several times, I had people that impacted me, that reached out to me to help me and support me. Whether it was spiritually, whether it was just through, going out to lunch and having a chance to talk to somebody, but that adding value to others. And now I want to share that and hopefully create a legacy for my children and others to do the same.
Absolutely amazing. Now, tell us more about some of the projects that you're currently working on.
Well, one of the big ones we're working on, I guess I'll talk from 2 different angles. One is from the Portage County Business Council side. We're really working hard to bring more talent to our community. We've got a lot of great jobs here. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and all, and that's brought on some challenges for all of us. But as we come out of this, as the vaccine takes hold and we begin to turn the corner next year, one of our big projects is continuing to bring talent to our area. We've got a great community, a lot of great resources and recreation. On the other side, on my entrepreneurial side, really my goal for 2021 is to speak in front of 17,120 people. Now, that's a pretty big audience, I know, and why that number? Well, that happens to be the number of the basketball arena in Madison, the Kohl Center. So I just picked that number, but really, again, trying to get out and speak to people. I talk a lot about core values, your inner circle, life harmony, breaking out of your comfort zone. and really letting people know that there is a way, that there are opportunities out there, and that nothing really can hold people back. There are so many people I've run across that have come from, very challenged backgrounds, again, much more challenged than I was. And there are so many opportunities for people to do things if they believe in themselves and seek the help of others to help grow and become better leaders.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned COVID and the pandemic that we're currently experiencing now. How have you had to pivot in your business?
And by the way, I love that word pivot. It's one of the few words that I love. Unprecedented, I'm only get tired of that one. But pivot, I love because it's a basketball term. But what I had to do right away was with my businesses, obviously, is pivot from public speaking in front of groups. Those opportunities were few and far between. So I had to become adept at what we're doing right now, talking on Facebook, talking on social media, virtual meetings, Zoom, and all the different platforms. And it was funny. Actually, someday I want to go back and listen to one of my first webinars I did that was taped on Zoom and just hear how clunky I sounded. I hope I'm doing better today for you, Gigi. But just, the whole lesson of changing the environment that you get to speak in. I was pretty comfortable speaking publicly, and now I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable on the Zoom environment. Once in a while, I forget to unmute myself, which I think all of us have probably done once or twice. But that whole shift and the preparation, it's a different kind of preparation, and utilizing slides and PowerPoints, Prezis, different presentation styles, and keeping people engaged for an hour. I've done 3.5 hour lessons on Zoom. And it's a challenging, as you probably know too, it's challenging to keep people engaged. So you have to be a little bit more creative than you are in normal in front of a public environment. You have to create those breakout groups and those questions. And you can't sense when a group is done. If you have small groups, groups finish at different times. You don't have that same sense as when you're in the room. So you have to kind of judge, do I give 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes? So a lot of learning going on in that arena. I'm so glad I have, because now I feel comfortable, whether it's with you and this particular, of course, you make everybody feel comfortable, but whether it's virtual or whether it's live now, I think I've grown my repertoire, hopefully some, and been able to do a number of different things and a number of different ways to spread that message.
I love it. Now, was there a time in your life journey where you experienced an aha moment?
Oh my. You've got great questions. I'll have to listen to this again and write some of these down. An aha moment. I would say I've had several aha moments recently on this leadership focus, on this business growing, where it's the biggest really one is that failing is okay. Now, you don't want to become a failure where that's all you're doing is failing, of course, but that it's okay to fail. Matter of fact, there's a group I'm involved with, and the kind of the facilitator of the group, his goal is to have 20 fails in a week, because if you have 20 fails, you're likely to have many, many more successes. So one aha is just realizing that it's okay to fail. You pick yourself up, you look around, you go to your inner circle, reach back to your core values, figure out what's important to you, and then step forward and take on another challenge. And that's probably the biggest aha I've had over the last few years. I would say before that, I might have gone an entirely different direction, but I'm really focusing on what I believe in, what I believe to be true, and fighting through fail and continuing to learn and grow.
Fantastic. Now let's talk about the mindset. How important is it to maintain a positive mindset?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And that's another aha for me too, that it really, and I don't want, nobody to think that I'm perfect by no stretch of the imagination, right? We're all learning, we're all growing together, we're all improving, but that whole positive attitude thing is so critical. I really have let a lot of things kind of roll off my back. I realized that, and particularly, I think through my work with DISC assessments and personality assessments, understanding that we're all so different. There's 8 billion different people in the world, and we all work and act in different ways. We all interact in different ways. And people are not intentionally trying to harm you in most cases, I guess. But in most cases, people are just acting the way that they've learned to act. And I think we have to be willing to accept and move into their environment or their personality style, their core values, and understand them and why they act the way they do. So that's helped me to really remain a lot more positive. That when people say, a person says something to me that I could at one point maybe seen as something that's negative, I can understand where they're coming from. And I also don't know, maybe something very important happened in their life, a big challenge. Maybe a family member passed away. Maybe they've lost their job. Maybe something else has happened in relationship to their health or somebody else's health. So really putting yourself in that other person's shoes and really honoring what they're saying and trying to figure out a way that you can connect with them maybe differently or in a better way to keep that positive energy going. But I like to surround myself with positive people. You're another one. I mean, you're smiling all the time when you're doing these, and I love the questions you're asking. But I think that positive mindset, it takes work, it takes time, but just focusing on those core things that are important to you in your life.
Amen. Very powerful. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Well, again, I think a big one that I talk about a lot is that positive mindset. I think it's working through a failure, working through a fail. I think it's one thing I talk a lot about as well, and I know you do with some of your guests too, is your inner circle. Who are the people that are closest to you, and developing that group of people, maybe 5 people that you can really rely on, maybe people who have strengths that you don't have, that can help you grow, learn in a different way, can help you overcome some of your weaknesses. And this is not necessarily your family members either. Can be people outside your family, but who are those people that you can go to? One of the people that pops to mind, excuse me, is Tom Corcoran. Tom introduced me to the whole Maxwell team, a lot of things they do. And Tom's someone I know I can give a call to on the phone. I can send a text. He'll give me something positive. He's part of my inner circle. He's also helped me a lot in my faith and my spiritual growth. But having those people around you is so important as you're looking to grow.
I love it. Know your inner circle. Very powerful. Now, thank you so much for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. Where can the audience find you, Todd?
They can find me at toddkuckkahn.com. Oh, look at that. Imagine that popping up on the screen as I said that. Yeah, that's my website. They can reach me there. I've got kind of a clever, silly email address. It's Bucky Buckets, BUCKY, BUCKETS at charter.net. Bucky Buckets at charter.net. Imagine having a basketball nickname. But matter of fact, I applied for a job at another institution once, and the guy didn't really care for me too much just because of my email address. He didn't like the Bucky factor. But anyway, that's how you can reach me.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Todd at toddkuckkahn.com. And Todd, thank you again for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a blessed day.
You too. Have a blessed New Year, Gigi. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.